And it's just like going through the Instagram accounts afterwards. Every time someone goes, I can't believe you missed, he's like, he didn't miss.
Saved.
He didn't miss.
It was saved.
Hello, and welcome to the Earth Sandwich Podcast.
We're not on murder podcast. We're not like
this is serial.
Doing it
or
like
are
a
we?
murder mystery.
Cue piano. No, this is the Earth Sandwich Podcast. I am your host for
Can you
today.
do it properly instead of
Andy.
doing this? This is weird.
What? I've got to mix it up. What if people get bored of the jovial attitudes? Sorry, I keep looking at the camera. I don't know why.
So let's not make a joke the entire time we record this.
Yeah, this is a serious podcast. Hello, and welcome to the Earth Sandwich Podcast. I'm Andy, one of your hosts, and I am with James, who is also in the UK with me, a fellow host. Hi, James, how are you?
I don't like it. I don't
Great.
like it.
How are you, Charlie? Having a
I'm
good
doing
evening?
really good, man.
It's like it was like this the whole way. There was no like.
I kept my audio levels the same. But anyway, that's great to hear, Charlie.
Hello, I'm Andy. That's
Hello.
not start. Do it again.
Do it again.
That was
I just do
awful.
it. I just have a recording of what I just did, and I just play it again. Hello. Hello, and welcome to the Earth Sandwich Podcast. My name's Andy, one of your hosts, and I'm with James today. Welcome, James.
Good morning. How are we?
Oh.
You all right?
I'm well. I'm very well. Charles?
Yeah, I'm good, man. I'm good. I'm just wondering who's pointing a gun at you at the moment right now. That's
No one.
Staring
That's the
down the
scary
camera,
part.
making it like.
nice, man. We'll take it. That'll do. Sod it.
Are you this evening? You all right?
Yeah, doing good. How's your guys' morning gone so far?
Swimmingly.
Oh, decent to be fair. You know,
Decent?
I've got up at 8:30. You know, ready to make a podcast at 9. It's currently 10:15.
It is.
I
We did
did,
well.
but you can't complain though, 'cause that happens every time we try and record. There's always like we
it's
get up
true.
and we're like, we'll record at like 5 my time, 9 your time, and it's just like we have an hour-long chat and a setup, and then we go, right, now we're ready to go. It never
It's
works
worth
out that way.
recording the initial chat just to get
A bit
that
of
in as
preamble.
well.
Yeah, exactly.
Absolutely.
Exactly. Not on the pressure, not on clock,
No.
if you will.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. So
Well.
I was I had a little thing. I was having a discussion with someone yesterday. We were talking
Were
about
you?
roast dinners.
Okay,
Roast dinners, delightful,
Interesting.
delicious.
they're
One of the
amazing.
best things to ever grace the human mouth.
Yeah.
That's a bit weird, actually. And I made the relatively unpopular opinion that I think on a Christmas dinner, roasted parsnips are better than roast potatoes. Now, that was greeted with significant...
Yeah.
What the... What?
I'm
What?
sort of in
Potatoes are the
stunned.
best part?
I'm sort of in
What?
stunned silence. I think potatoes are definitely one of the best parts for sure. I don't know why you would say that.
I would agree.
I think you have both though, typically, right? In a roast.
Yes, yeah. But if I could only have one, I would have roast parsnips over roast potatoes.
Why?
Yeah.
I think they're nicer. What other reason?
I don't know. You could just be like I don't know, they might be healthier. I don't know if they are or aren't, but I don't know, that could be. I think you're wrong, and I think it's an unpopular opinion for a reason.
Yeah.
So,
Yes, yeah.
I'm in agreement with that.
That's the thing. I acknowledge that it's an unpopular opinion. I'm fine with it being an unpopular opinion. It's just my opinion that honey glazed, lovely parsnip are better on a Christmas dinner, more crucial to a Christmas dinner. Potentially,
Yes.
not more crucial, but better on a Christmas dinner than a potato.
Sunday.
Because I reckon
Yeah.
if you have a normal roast dinner, like if we just sat down and made a roast dinner, the three of us, yeah, we're not going to
Indeed.
put parsnips on it. We're going to have potatoes.
Yeah.
Whereas when it rocks around to
Yeah.
Christmas, you always have parsnips for some reason. It's like
But-
Brussels
but-
sprouts. You always add
also-
parsnips because there's so many trimmings going with it.
Is that not a testament to the deficiency of parsnips? Because if they were so good,
I
you
think
probably
it's-
would have them all the time normally.
I do. That's the thing. I have parsnips. a lot.
You're a parsnip man.
I'm
you,
a snipper.
I'm a. You're a snipper. Sunday mornings, you're just there like, oh, make sure I got to get the parsnips.
Get the snips out.
So
yeah, I would go for parsnips all the time. Yeah,
I kind of feel like that's an unpopular opinion that should definitely stay an unpopular opinion as far as I'm concerned.
I think then your issue is not with Christmas dinner; it's with potatoes in general.
No, because I love potatoes as well. So my unpopular opinion is simply that on a Christmas dinner, I would rather have parsnips and potatoes, but I love them both.
So would you have both? In a perfect world, would you have both? Or
oh yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
But I think if I'm just having one, I'm having snips.
I feel like you would always have both on a roast dinner, though. They both belong on it.
Yeah.
It's not like
definitely.
But I'd go potato over parsnips. So.
Yeah. Also, you don't want to have potatoes. Is already like a very filling, like very, that's a very spacious food. Whereas parsnips is that as well. And I feel if you got both, it kind of
parsnips are quite light, are they not? Parsnips are quite like carrots.
Yeah, but like in the same sense that.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
You are right, I guess. I don't know. I just thought the color of parsnips is not like carrots. Oh, it's bland.
Yeah.
Visually, it's not appealing, but then again, I don't think that should.
I do.
Describing the visuals or the taste?
You know what? Both. Controversial opinion. I'm not a parsnip man.
I think the taste of parsnips is a bit bland, yeah, and I think the look of them is a bit like I feel like I've been caught out because I eat one thinking it's a potato. I'm like, fuck?
They're the bastard child of carrots and potato. That's what they are.
That is disgraceful.
I'm not about that. I know they are, but you love them.
Get some honey glazed parsnips in your life.
No.
Well, you've mentioned the honey glaze twice. This feels like
it's like people that it's like roast potatoes and goose fat. It's just better.
To be fair, I prefer duck fat. But...
Oh, but yeah. To be fair, we don't have that anymore, so
Yeah, true.
Ever since he killed all those ducks, it's been
exactly.
It's been bad.
The Great Duck Massacre.
Not since the incident. You can't.
No, I think thank you for bringing that forward, James. You are right in the sense that is an incredibly unpopular opinion.
It is an unpopular opinion. And my thought process was, does anyone else have any particularly unpopular opinions that they think, aren't, too out there, of course, but like people disagree with a lot,
I don't know if this is an unpopular opinion, because this is kind of, this varies depending on where you are in the world. But like, I think that this might actually be a popular opinion, if you are somewhere like to eat and they automatically add on a tip, that's a no-no. Is that unpopular or is that popular?
Oh, it's a difficult one.
That's
that's
tricky.
A no-no. Because then you're forcing your hand. You're like, you're putting the customer in the situation where, like, I've had to go out of my way to be like, no, I don't want to add a tip because I literally only brought enough money for what I was going to get. So I could not afford a tip. So I'm like, no, I don't have, can you take that off?
That's you being a broke bitch though, isn't it?
Hey, I'm paying, they're getting paid. I'm paying for my meal at, I don't know. I was going to say somewhere nice, but I don't go anywhere nice. But
I'm not tipping the bloke at McDonald's. He can do one. That's what Andy's normally going to say.
I'm not against tipping. I'm against forced tipping.
I do agree with you in a way, because it's kind of... I think you're probably going to say the same as me, Charlie. It's the way that if they immediately put 20% on, they might have been shit.
I always find that you don't even see them.
They might have not given a fuck, and then they automatically get 20% put on.
Yeah.
Whereas if somebody's really good, I specifically want to be like, you were sick, here is a nice tip, here's a really good tip. And I think that comes from, doing that kind of work yourself as well. Whereas if you specifically see people who don't give a fuck and get the same tip as you already put on, you're like, well, why am I going to be really if I'm going to get...
Yeah, exactly. I think that's the sort of thing. Is I like the idea of tipping someone who's done something, who's like gone above and beyond, and is like, really good. Or like if the food was amazing, like especially you get like you get those little like family run markets and things like that. You get little stalls and things like that. I can particularly think of in like France and things like that. You get little ones. I like throwing in a little bit extra sometimes if they're like really nice and really chatty, and especially normally it's like restaurants and stuff. Obviously, that's where you can put in a little bit of something. But I don't like the idea of having to pay like a extra amount, like being forced to.
Yeah, I think it's just the thing that really, grinds my gears, for lack of a better term, is when you're like, okay, I've picked this meal, the meal is £10 or whatever, and then you get the check and it's not £10, and you have to go out of you, because few people are as confident as I am to be like, nah, I don't have that much money. So like some people, like I assume, I don't know, the vast majority of people will just pay the extra bit of money.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't. It's just one of those. It's just, and also I swear this was not a thing like even 5-6 years ago. Am I correct in assuming that? I don't know. Maybe it was, but I feel like I'm noticing it a lot.
I don't think distinctly in the UK tipping was particularly a thing 5-6.
No, not really.
Maybe if you go back 10 years, nobody tipped. Really.
Yeah.
Okay. And it's only really become a thing because of the American influence, really.
Yeah. But that's what, like, that's because they don't pay their, waiters and waitresses enough money. Yeah. Whereas I feel like it's kind of maybe just been copied. I don't know. I've never worked in a restaurant. I don't know. But I feel like it's just been copied because, we can do it. I don't know. That's just, I don't like the assumed tippage. Especially if it's somewhere, where it's like a chain and like you see like 3 different people.
Yeah.
It's like,
yeah.
What am I tipping? Who am I tipping? It's like 5 people.
I think that's a fair enough opinion, and I think we should also stress the fact that if somebody is sick, they are getting a.
Yeah.
Like if somebody's really good, as Charlie says, goes like out of their way to be like really good, really nice, really chatty. Well, not necessarily really chatty. Sometimes people that aren't chatty are better because you're just like, well, we're here to talk to each other, not to talk to the waiter. Just kind of thing. But if people are particularly nice and that kind of thing, then yeah, it's brilliant. Like people that used to come into the restaurant that I worked in, like used to come in on their own just for a tea or coffee. I'd stand and chat to them for like 5-10 minutes if I knew I had time and I knew I had the difference. If it was like a really slow lunch shift or something, and that would get you. Yeah. I didn't do it because I knew it would get me a good tip, but also it just makes their day a little bit better as well. And I think that's the thought process of if they do that, good tip.
Yeah, that kind of makes sense.
I don't know. It's sort of, it depends where you are in the world, doesn't it? Really, because every country's got its different opinion on how tipping works and how that sort of. Yeah, I don't know. I think
America is 20%, isn't
it?
I guess it varies depending on what restaurant you're in, but that's kind of like a general rule, I think. But what I loved is in Japan, they like get insulted.
Like, they hate it. They hate tipping over there.
Really?
Yeah. They're like, I think I was with my mum and dad, and they tried to tip because they were really nice, and they were like, they kind of gave us a look like we had asked for a tip. Like they kind of gave us a look like, the fuck are you talking about? No. And we were like, sorry. So I didn't realise. But I'm like, that's what we need more of in England.
Japan's tipping culture is non-existent. Like it's just, they just don't do it at all. It really isn't a thing that they do.
Yeah.
Is there a reason for that?
I wonder if it's like if it's seen as an insult almost. It's just like, here, you look like you need money, bud. I don't.
Maybe that is it.
Yeah.
It could be that. I actually don't know.
That is what tipping is, isn't it? You know what you could do with this money? That's what tipping. I suppose to think of it cynically, that's kind of what it is. But
it's a bit condescending. Yeah. I'm richer than you. Here you go, bud.
60-year-old blokes down the local pub think of tipping.
Yeah.
But,
the locals.
The locals, I don't know. That's I don't know, tipping.
I prefer that almost. I would prefer that because then, if you don't need tips, that means everyone's being paid properly. But I mean, but there is the thing where like if you're in somewhere like Japan or something, and someone does do something really good and it's above and beyond, like what are you supposed to do to say thank you, like, other than say thank you?
Thank you loads.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I guess
Constantly
works,
say
I
it as you're
suppose.
leaving.
Yeah. Cheers. Thank
Cheers,
you.
bye.
Cheers, mate.
Cheers, thank
Yeah,
you,
exactly.
thank you.
They're like, I don't understand a word he was
That
saying.
is difficult, isn't it? Yeah. Especially if you're not distinctly like, brilliant with the language as well. Like over here, if we didn't do like a tipping thing, you could go, "Oh, thank you, you were brilliant today. Like that was really, really good. Like you were lovely."
Yeah.
And then you can leave. Whereas in Japan, if there's the language barrier, or even anywhere, to be fair, you're just like,
yeah, cheers, mate. Solid. Keep at it.
"Cheers, geezer."
Thanks, bud.
Thanks, buddy.
Tap him on the shoulder.
Now it's condescending.
Yeah, now it's bad. Now it's a level of don't.
When you pat them on the head, say cheers, champ. Yeah, that's a
Puff down there.
While you're sitting down, so you gotta like reach up and do this. You gotta go out your way. But no.
What would you say, Charlie? Have you got a particular unpopular?
I guess there's. I mean, not really, I guess, but there's NFL is rising a lot at the moment in like viewer count and stuff. It's becoming a big thing. So I suppose my unpopular opinion is it's garbage. I don't.
Is that your opinion, or is that
unpopular here?
That's just I don't know. It's just like there's a lot of people going. I imagine the spectacle of it, like going to watch it, is probably pretty good. But like the game itself is really stop-start. I can't really, it's just weird because like I like cricket, which is also very stop-start. But I don't know. And NFL is just like really boring to me for some reason. I don't know.
Yeah, I think partly why at least us as British people raised in Britain or Australia, is that like the advertising aspect, at least for me, that is the thing that like sticks out the most. Yes, obviously the Premier League is advertised to hell as well, as much as they can, but like you're not having it like Bruno Fernandes is about to take a pen, or Pogba does his stupid little run up, and while he's doing it, it's like an advert for Colgate. Like
I feel like the equivalent if they did it in soccer would be like if when it goes out for a throw or there's a goal kick or something like that, they just cut to an advert and then come back when the ball's back in play for a couple of seconds. I feel like that's like the equivalent. And it's just, I don't know. It's weird.
We spoke about this in a previous episode briefly on the fact that when we were saying about American football, and like I think the difference between us watching American football and stuff, with cricket, you can sit there, you can have a pint, and just enjoy it. You can chat, you can have a laugh. And also cricket, you can play if it's just you and your mate. Get a bat and a ball, go into a net, and enjoy yourself. Whereas American football, the only thing you can do with American football, if there's two of you, is throw it between each other or kick it. You could do that in football as well, but you can go in a goal. Someone can go in goal.
But you can shoot in a goal, and
whereas American football is literally just between the two of you. There's fuck all else to do, other than if you've got like the setup to do kicking and stuff. And I think that's the difference. It's very easy. It's translatable to other things, whereas American football is just very.
Because also, like with American football, like even so, if you're by yourself, like how do you? I guess you could practice your agility, but at that rate, like that's not even really to do with American football.
Just training,
that's kind of just. Whereas, like if you've got a real football, you can do like I don't know dribbling. You can do keepy uppies, and you can even if it's not massively helpful, it's definitely something that you can work on. But I don't know. I get what you mean. Like it's a very, I don't know. For me, it's just it's the fact that something cool will happen, something that looks cool will happen, and then it will be okay. Now now the attacking side, now all the team is switching around, and we're gonna stop for about 2.5 minutes. It's like, oh, what? It was just getting interesting. Why are they? And then it's like, oh,
yeah. The big one.
They are some of the best athletes.
Oh, they are. They're ridiculous.
Like incredible athletes. And you kind of think like, not necessarily they're wasted, but imagine putting them into different sports and seeing like just how good of an athlete they are in like a sport that consistently works.
I legit think like the US rugby team would be mental if they had like a load of people from NFL. Genuinely think because they've got so many good athletes that just play NFL and that's all they do. And it's just like,
Think of their wide receivers,
which is like it's a culture thing, but it's like it has no impact on the global stage, like at all. Because you think US is good in very few sports that the rest of the world cares about. Which is like, because all their athletes just play those things, like baseball. Baseball grows in a lot of countries. Like Cuba's big on it, Japan's big on it. But like in terms of like, it's not up there with like rugby and
Japan's huge on baseball.
Yeah, it's not up there with rugby, football, cricket, these sorts of things. It's not to the same extent.
And it shows as well in the fact that the Americans call their baseball league the World.
Yeah.
League, and then what was it? The top team over there went over to Japan and lost or something, didn't they?
Oh, I don't know. Actually, they could have done
or something along those lines. I think the team that won the league that year, went over for like a tour in Japan or something and lost one of the teams out there. It's like, how are you going to call yourself the World League winners and go to the rest of the world and lose?
It's funny, eh?
But
I agree with you there, Charles. Like, I don't know, like. It's just the fact that like you get like rhythms in games. Although admittedly, whilst we do, as much as we are probably fans of football, like the AFCON final the other day, fun stat for you. I watched the highlights of it, and then I watched this YouTube channel like doing like a breakdown of it, and like
was it Pie Face?
What happened in it? It was not Pie Face. Shout out Pie Face. I wish it was Pie Face. But no,
he's been in like 2 episodes now. Damn.
He's been in 3.
3? Yeah. Okay, 3.
Love Pie
Face. Corrected.
I forgot to watch this morning.
Pie Face.
I do. Big fan. Hi, Pie. I forgot what I was talking about. Oh yeah, in the AFCON final, which went to extra time. I can't remember. Yeah.
And Penos.
In the first 90 minutes, the ball was only in play for 40 of those 90 minutes.
What?
Fuck off.
Yeah. But that's because I guess they were both playing very defensive. But it gives you an idea that it's not, whilst as we say, whilst we go, oh, in American football, they're never doing any actual sports. That's also kind of the case in Europe, like football. But you kind of don't notice it as much because there aren't adverts, and when it is out of play, it's usually only out of play for like, I don't know, 15 seconds or at most.
Not even that.
Yeah.
That's like mental stat.
That's a
real.
Big statistic, though. That's not normal. There's no way that's normal.
And
normally
in this
like
video,
5 minutes, maybe.
In this video, they also mentioned that like the only game, like, so that was apparently like amongst the top 5, like, most time wasted essentially ever in like an official capacity, and like the most was, I can't remember. I think it might have been Stoke or someone like a few years ago.
Just giving it to Rory to lap every time.
What a man. And I think it was like the ball was only in play for like 38 minutes for the 90 minutes of that game.
I guess if that's also counting the fact of goalkeepers coming to take a goal kick, players having it in their hands for throw-ins, not just the ball going out and all that stuff, I can kind of get how that can tally up.
Yeah.
And if teams aren't particularly wondrous in possession as well, then...
Yeah.
But I mean, as well, like the Barcelona approach to play, like everyone loved like the prime Barcelona and stuff, and I fucking hated watching them because they were so boring, but they'd score 3 goals or something. Because they just pass it round, but like, is Andy gone?
I'm still here.
he's definitely lagged out of some sort.
Oh no, wait, hold on.
Oh, he's coming back.
Am I here now?
Give him a minute. We'll play some interlude music here. Oh, he's fully gone. We actually will play some interlude music until he returns.
Hello. Am I back? Hello.
Hello.
Can you see me? Am I here?
Yeah. Don't worry. There's some interlude music playing, so we can go. And we're back.
And we're back.
So like, do you know what? Drop there.
And we're back.
Nice. Yes.
Oh yeah.
Do you know what? I had a feeling something was going to happen because for some reason, like, 10 seconds before I must have cut out, Microsoft Teams for some reason just opened and said it had an error, and I wasn't on it, and I was like, "That's weird. Why did that say that?" And then bam, I was gone.
Cheers for that, Teams.
And he's gone.
Yeah.
But what I was saying is the prime Barcelona I didn't especially like watching because they just passed it around for 90 minutes and then like they attacked like very few times and yet score a lot of goals, and it was just like I don't know. If you like, it's really good football. There's no denying that, and they got a lot of space and they controlled the ball a hell of a lot, and they played it around teams. But comparing that to watching Leicester winning the league, which was just like pump the ball up and just like end to end, I find that a lot more interesting and exciting to watch. Personally, I know a lot of people would love watching Barcelona, and I get why.
Yeah.
But I just liked it when it was much more almost like chaotic. I guess chaotic and a bit slightly more shit. I guess it's like. I think when you get to
a lot of people will argue that the Championship is a better league to watch than the Premier League.
Absolutely,
it is.
They would say like the Premier League, you've got like Man City, obviously now under Pep, playing like the Barcelona, where they play it around you, they wait for small openings, and then they blast through those openings. But in the Championship, you don't have quite the quality to do that kind of play, and the teams are more even throughout the whole league. Every single game is like a gladiatorial battle compared to just Goliath stomping on Burnley every week.
Yeah.
And it's much more interesting.
It's a completely different.
And that's why
beast.
the FA Cup and like the Carabao Cup and things like that, that's why it's always so interesting to see like Scunthorpe come all the way up and like when Middlesbrough beating United the other day and things like that.
Yeah.
I felt so bad for
more interesting.
I felt so bad for Kidderminster Harriers. Did you see that one?
No.
They scored in the 19th minute against West Ham.
Damn.
West Ham equalised in 90 plus 1 minutes, and then scored again in 120 plus 1 minutes at extra time. I was just like, come on.
Painful, isn't it? Like...
That would have been so good if they'd won. They're 6th here. They're like so far down.
Brilliant.
It would have been amazing.
Imagine the revenue that would have gone into their club as well.
Oh, yeah.
Just for that jump up in the league. Oh, God.
That is...
I think that's another really good thing about those cups is that it gives small clubs like that a chance to be like, look, we do exist. We do play decent football.
Yeah.
We can hold our own.
I can remember there was one year where Crawley Town got through against Man United to play Man United, and this was like Fergie era Man United. It was a really back when we weren't shit.
Nice.
And it was just like I'm a United supporter, but I'm sort of half going for Crawley because I want to see it happen. So I really want Crawley to go all the way. But it's great.
The underdog, isn't it? Underdog story. You always
FA
want to
Cup.
win no matter what.
Yeah, if your team is out of the FA Cup, or even if they come up against your team and you think it'd be a great upset, you do sort of root for the underdog big time.
Yeah. It's
like
almost
Cambridge
like
beat Newcastle.
Really want...
Yeah.
Recently.
It's like I'd love if United won and that'd be brilliant, get a cup and everything. But it's the second best option, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's nice to go see Crawley just go and batter some Premier League teams.
Yeah.
Just for them. Great fun.
Also, what is the the energy in the changing room got to be if you're like someone like Newcastle who lost to Cambridge a few weeks ago, whenever that was? Like what do you say at full time to the team? Like,
shit.
Like what the hell, guys?
Rip them to fucking shreds.
Like, that must. Do you reckon that like kills their ego, or do you reckon it just doesn't really? I suppose Newcastle players might not have huge egos, but
it would be quite humbling, even so.
Joe Linton's like,
yeah. He's like, oh, Lake.
Here we go again. I can't imagine they have a. Well, I think all football players have a significant ego. They're playing
you have to. You have to.
You've got to, yeah.
Because if you cock up,
that level of.
If you're playing for the man Eddie Howe, what a hero!
Yeah. Because if you cock up in a game, you've got to have the ego to put that down and carry on.
Move on.
Yeah.
It's like people like Ronaldo missing penalties the other day. He's got to have the nutcrackers to just go, no, I still am the best player in the world. Get on with it. Unpopular opinion, he's not. But
Yeah.
He missed 27 penalties. Is what he's missed. That's cool.
Really?
What, in one game?
Not in one game. Jesus. That'll be it.
Middlesbrough.
I can't believe.
Kept shanking him.
Can't believe we lost to Middlesbrough like that. No, I think throughout his career he's missed 27, something like that.
I guess in the volume of penalties he's probably taken, that's
not bad.
Doesn't equate to an awful lot.
I mean, he scored his penalty.
That's still a lot of penalties.
He scored his penalty in that penalty shootout.
Yeah.
That one was perfect. Nothing wrong with that one.
Yeah.
But
yeah, that's a bit of a difficult one, isn't it? Because if you take 1,000 penalty and you miss 27, and people go, he's missed 27 penalties, they're like, that's a lot of penalties.
Oh,
yeah,
actually,
he scored 973.
Yeah.
This is something I want to talk about while we're on the topic of penalties. Okay.
Yeah.
So we might have talked about this years ago. If I am a striker about to take a penalty, and I shoot the ball, and it's going on target, but it is saved.
I don't know where this is going.
Is it a miss or is it a save? I think I am of the school of thought that if the shot is on target, even if it's saved or not, it cannot be classed as missed. Because you didn't miss, you were prevented. Yes, the ball missed its target because the goalkeeper stopped it, but it was on target and it wasn't missing. It was saved.
The ball was saved, but it'll go down as you missed the penalty.
Yes, it shouldn't go down as you missed the penalty. It should go down as it was saved. Because there is a distinction. Like if you do a John Terry in the Champions League final, and miss it.
You've been holding on to that. It's a very specific.
I have that.
Still crying
yeah, that
about
was.
that, are you?
I remember.
This is the one specific thing that this has all come from, isn't it?
So would you say that Anelka's was saved?
Yes.
Just
it was
to really,
saved.
Drill down on the fact that you lost the penalty shootout.
Thank you for that. But two Man United fans, yeah. Because what I don't like is when a commentator. I mean, I get why they say it, but it's just he didn't miss. He hit it on target.
But did he score?
No, it was saved.
Missed.
No, it was saved.
Yeah,
I
gather. I get that. I get that it's saved, but he missed because it was saved.
He didn't miss. It was on target.
So what did he do? Did he not score because it was saved? So he missed because it was saved.
What they should say, commentators should be like, if De Gea saves a penalty, it should be, Troy Deeney. Don't know why I thought of him. Steps up to take. The penalty, and his penalty was saved. I just take issue when commentators go, Troy Deeney missed his penalty. No, he didn't. It was saved. It was on target, and it was saved.
But he didn't score his penalty.
I'm not saying he scored his penalty, James. Don't get me wrong. Don't get my words twisted here. He did not score his penalty. Troy Deeney did not score. However, he did not miss. It was saved.
I think this is it's not that deep moment.
No, it is.
Because if you think of it as like a missed opportunity, then he has missed the penalty because he's missed the opportunity.
That's how I'm thinking about it. Yeah.
That's how I would think of it. It's not that he's missed the target; it's that the chance to score from the penalty has been missed.
Yes, that is true.
Yeah,
but the shot itself was not a miss.
Troy Deeney has missed his penalty opportunity.
Yes.
If they said that, that's fine.
No,
but you're never going to hear
a bit of a mouthful.
It doesn't need the. You don't need the word opportunity at the end because it's just he missed the penalty.
But he didn't. It was on target.
But he did.
No. If I shot
it's not a physical representation of the goal, and if it goes past the goal, it's missed the goal.
Okay, hypothetical question, right? You're wearing, a bulletproof vest. I've got a gun.
Oh, God.
I shoot you in the bulletproof vest. I didn't miss you. I just didn't hit the intended target.
But you did shoot him.
No.
Yes.
No. If you shot,
It's
me,
on target.
yeah?
I was on target.
If you shot me, no.
on
If
the
you shot
bulletproof
me
vest.
and David De Gea jumped in and blocked it, you'd missed me.
No, but that's not the debate we're having here, James. The
Yeah,
debate
why'd you
here.
bring it up?
No,
it's not.
because I'm
No,
the
no.
goal. I'm the goal.
No,
The
because
bullet
in
is
this
the ball.
scenario-
You're
in
the
this
person
scenario,
shooting. David De Gea is saving me.
Okay.
Yeah.
What? Okay. So wait, we're
And
getting rid of the
and the
bulletproof
bullet
vest
has missed
thing.
me. The bullet's missed me.
This
But it was on
analogy's gotten
target.
away from you.
It was
The
on
bullet
target,
was on target.
but it missed.
No, it didn't. It was
Yes,
stopped.
it did.
It was
Did it hit me?
The bullet.
Did it hit me?
No, it did
No,
not.
so it missed me.
I want to make one thing clear. I am not saying that if someone shoots on goal and it's saved, that it is a goal. He scored. I'm not that far gone. I am merely saying that if I shoot a penalty and it's going within, the 3 metal things, and the goalkeeper posts even, and the goalkeeper stops it, it is a save.
Right.
It is not a. The guy did not miss it. Yes, it is not that deep, but it is just one of those little things that whenever a commentator says it, I'm like, not quite right though, is it?
It's not that deep, but I will still die on this hill.
Absolutely.
Yeah, literally.
There is my controversial opinion.
That's yours, is it?
Yeah,
I think
well, there's one.
that's a
Oh,
completely
man.
fair opinion to have, but I don't think it matters what they say.
It doesn't matter exactly, which if anything reaffirms my point more.
So let's
If it
just
doesn't matter-
delete the last 10 minutes of this podcast then.
No, I want this to
Because
be
it doesn't
on the
matter.
record.
But
We're going to
This
have a
is-
penalty shootout at some point in the future, and I will get a shot on target, but you will be saved.
But this
and
is
then
a
the debate
discussion-
will re-arise.
this is a discussion you've had multiple times with multiple people, and it never
have.
goes anywhere.
Yeah,
But it doesn't have to go
literally,
anywhere. I just want to proliferate my ideology a bit more. So one day I might find someone
As
who's
a
like,
straight
you know what?
white male in my 20s, I want to put my ideologies out there.
I think more people need to know my opinions. But no, just yeah. And we'll tuck it out
Fair
after
enough.
that.
Do you know what would solve this if we took penalties like they used to do in the MLS?
I think that'd be great.
Where
I'd
they-
rather that.
I don't think
Where
that
they
would
ran
solve
for
it.
halfway.
I don't think that would solve it, because Andy would still be like, yeah, but he shot on target. I know the keeper stopped it before he got there, but it was still going on target.
Yeah.
Obviously.
What about actually? Here's the thing. Here's the thing.
Doesn't
With own goals, right? If someone takes the shot, well, the current rule is if someone takes the shot and it's going on target, but it deflects off a defender and goes in, it's the striker's anyway.
Yeah.
I don't think it should be that if like a striker takes a shot, even if it's missing the goal, if it deflects off a defender and goes in, fuck it, just give it to them. 'Cause
Like, they gave Darren Bent the beach ball. They didn't give the goal to the beach ball.
I would have loved to have seen VAR trying to clear that one up,
God, yeah, that
because you know they'd fuck it. You know they'd fuck it.
they would end up
saw-
giving the
yeah.
ball to the goal to the beach ball, wouldn't they? And that'd be he'd have more Premier League goals than some players. Right.
Like,
So,
do you think that VAR should be used post game?
No,
no.
not
Why not?
post game.
Until the referee blows the whistle. Done.
It broke a whistle.
That's why I think the whole Bruno Fernandes against Everton, where we got a penalty after the final whistle was blown. That's bollocks. Like, as soon as the final whistle goes, everything's done.
No, but that's not true.
I take that
That's not
back.
true.
I take that back because you can give red cards to people that are having a fight after the final whistle's blown.
Yeah, that's
You
true.
can. I think it's as long as the players and staff are on the pitch or next to the pitch, the ref is still in control of
If
whatever.
the referee's in control of the situation.
Yeah, because like in a situation like that where a penalty was given after the 90 minutes, like do you think? Like I don't know if I think this. I just think it's definitely something that should be considered. If there is, for instance, another goal which will forever be stained in all of our memories is another Chelsea player, Frank Lampard, scoring against Germany. Clearly was a goal against Manuel Neuer. It was a goal. It definitively was a goal. Yes,
Yeah.
England, I think, still lost like 4-1 or whatever it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, but at that point it would have been 1-1 or 2-1 or something like that.
Yeah, 2-1.
It would and they would have had the momentum, but instead they went down, scored at the other end, so it's 3-0. So it's like, well, game over. Like,
yeah.
So it did have a massive impact on
You
it.
can tell we're still bitter, can't you?
I am still
Never would have had the
bitter.
momentum.
I am still.
Yeah. Yeah.
I am still bitter about the 2006 World Cup. When Italy,
As
we
we
should
always will be.
no, I'm bitter as an Australian fan because Italy dived and knocked us out in the quarters, and it was bullshit.
Good point,
And I've hated Italy since.
Well, I mean,
This must have been a
Italy
really
hasn't
good
been kind to us
Euros for
recently
you
either.
then.
Yeah.
The Euros was so infuriating.
You know, when all those players had their penalties saved. You know, that was
and it's just like going through their Instagram accounts afterwards. Every time someone goes, I can't believe you missed, he's like, he didn't miss.
Saved.
he didn't miss.
It was saved.
Donnarumma
Rashford
saved
missed,
it.
didn't he? He dragged it wide.
I think some of
Rashford
them did miss, but
Yeah, we watched the final just here, and it was just the two of us. And afterwards, we were just sat there, and I was just in silence, just sat there, just contemplating everything that had just happened.
Nice.
And, like, Freya messages her mates in the group chat, and just says, "He's been sat there in silence for 5 minutes. What should I say?" And they're
Nothing.
all like,
You don't say anything.
Yeah, it's like, my boyfriend's not said anything. Should I just get him a drink? What should I do? And it's like, my boyfriend's been in the toilet since the penalties. That was 15 minutes ago.
Yeah. Like,
Freya just kind of walked over and was
horrible.
just like, it's fine, and just gave me a drink. I just sat there like...
I was sat in a pub at the time, and I've never seen a pub go from like bouncing and roaring to like there was like quiet when Saka went up to take the pen, and when it was saved, the entire pub just went dead silence. It was just like a stunned silence, and it was just no one said anything. It was just people. Somebody walked out the pub, just said cheers to the bartender, and walked home. I remember at the time, someone was driving from our friend group. And he was just like, "Oh, do you want a lift?" I was like, "No, I'll walk, I reckon."
Yeah. It was one of those moments like, I think I just need some alone time.
It was a 20-minute walk. I just thought, I'm just going to do that walk, I reckon. I'm just going to just put some music on. It was raining as well, proper aesthetic. I just had like my
put
hood up.
three lines on your shirt on and just put them in.
Just hood up, a bit James Blunt. Just walking through in the rain, just like I don't even.
Mate, that was genuinely probably the emotional aside from Lampard missing, not Lampard, Terry missing that penalty.
Yeah,
that was probably the most emotional footballing event ever for me. I had COVID when the Euros was on, so I was ill as shit, but I still had like my Aldi brand cider, and I was just there. Yeah, shout out Taurus cider.
Taurus.
just watching it, and then when you get like the nervous like knee shakes, where you're just going like,
Yeah.
I remember during the penalty shootout, like both my legs were just doing that, and I was like, it was awful, terrible.
I get really nervous generally during like football penalty shootouts, like even the Man United one. Like we were watching it the other day, and I was fully sat there like in a brick, and it's against Middlesbrough.
Yeah.
What is this? And when we watched, so going back to like all United's kind of Champions League finals, with the United against Chelsea shitting a brick, when it was United against Barcelona, we just got outplayed. That was the best team to ever walk onto a Champions League stage, potentially. Like that team was stupid good, and we just got outplayed. And it's like, can't really do much else, to be honest. You can't really be sad about it because they were just better than us. Brilliant. The United in the Europa League the other year.
Oh, mate, I loved it against Villarreal.
Yeah, we watched that, and genuinely, like, there were 3 United fans in that call, and we were watching it, and after the like penalty shootout, Charlie was just like, "James, you're right. You haven't said anything for about 6 minutes."
Yeah, I did. Yeah,
you're right. Sat there in dead silence, just.
Like they say, like there's the sort of thing where they try and fix penalties, and they try and make them like, because they're unfair, and they are unfair. That's just undeniable. They're totally unfair because it can come down to one player missing it and fucking it. for the whole team, right? But
Yeah.
as much as it sucks for that one player, the entertainment value you get out of penalty shootouts, like it should be a case of, in a perfect world, you'd have the penalty shootouts and no one would have a go at the person who'd missed, because everyone at some point has missed a penalty, right? Yeah. If you play football, everyone has missed a penalty.
Except Balotelli.
It's happened. Except Balotelli. But I mean, like you get like the ones we've talked about before. I mean, like the England-Colombia game in the World Cup, that went to a shootout. That was amazing. There's been a lot of fantastic penalty shootouts over the year, and it's typically the thing that helps with like giant slaying in like cup games and things. You know, if a lower league team can stop the Premier League team or the higher ranked team from scoring and take it to pens, then it's just anybody's game at that point. And I think that's like it's brilliant. They're really good.
In an ideal world, it would be every single player that's on the pitch at the time takes a penalty, and then it's accumulated, and it goes, okay, well, you took 11 and you missed 4, whereas they took 11 and they scored all 11, so they go through.
But what happens then if you...
But then you have the problem of the entertainment value of being like, this next penalty saves or breaks you. Like, this next penalty is you're out or you're in.
Well, you'd still get that. You'd still get that, though, because if say a team missed 4 pens, right? And then the last team has missed missed 3 and they need to score it. Yeah, I can't process my brain, but if they need to score it, the pressure's still on, but it's just dragged out.
But then what happens if both teams score all 11? Like,
then you go to a traditional penalty shootout, maybe, and you just go 1 by 1.
Yeah, I don't know.
But again, it draws it out and it makes it less dramatic.
Yeah,
in a sense.
Although we talked about the James, I think you mentioned the MLS or format, old MLS format. I think that'd be kind of fun. I don't know why.
It makes it so much more difficult for goalkeepers.
Yeah.
Does it? I thought it would make it.
Yeah, because imagine people like fucking Mbappe running at you at full speed. All he does is push the ball past you, and then he's scored. You know, like the only people that wouldn't be particularly good at that is like slow people. But then slow people are more likely to be like tactical, like Juan Mata. He'll more likely just whip the ball round you, or chip you even.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know. It'd be one of those things where maybe maybe not the Premier League, maybe not international European stages, but
Club World Cup.
Yeah, something like that. Something where we're like, no one really cares what happens. It would just be, it'd be great. I just want to see, I don't know, Ronaldo dribbling against Courtois, just kind of for the shits and giggles.
Maybe something that you could. If you made like an independent trophy, like if it had been the Super League, maybe in the Super League they could have done it.
Yeah,
that'd have been interesting.
Why not?
Although the Super League can fuck off, from what I care. So,
I think I still think the traditional penalty shootout is the best one, just for building tension.
Yeah,
and things like that. I think it's great. I do think it's harsh on the player who misses, but I think I think as long as everybody doesn't have a go at them, which unfortunately does happen quite a bit, but. I don't think people really should, because it's difficult and it's pressure, isn't it? Like you can practice. It's the thing. It's like penalties is something you can't practice because any top level footballer can score a penalty when no pressure is on. Of course they can, but it's the pressure being on that makes it so difficult.
Yeah, and I think 1,000 people sitting there just
penalties
at you.
Yeah, and the penalties that last second are good, like the one where Rashford knocked out PSG.
Oh yeah,
that was amazing as well. It's like things like that. Oh yeah, it's like I like the current, and I know that's not a penalty shootout, but you know what I mean, like last minute pens and penalty shootouts and stuff. I think they build a lot of tension, which is really good.
And it's
what I love about
the ability to be able to give away penalties in that situation, like the sheer, if somebody's dribbling around in the box or the ball's pinging around, you're just. Sat there just like, do not slide tackle, do not slide tackle, do not slide tackle, don't dive in, don't dive in, don't dive in, don't kill him.
Yeah,
it just builds that tension even more to have that in the game.
What I find brilliant is how like the like the goalkeeper's got to be on his line rule.
Yeah.
How pre-VAR, like that is just, if you watch penalty shootouts, like the Liverpool Milan shootout in 2005, like all of those goalkeepers are coming like 3 to 4 feet off their lines before the guys even hit the ball, and it's like it's a completely different world now.
I remember we were having the discussion of this kind of thing, and I pulled up one of the best penalty savers ever, like Petr Cech. I pulled up all his penalty saves. Not one of them was he on his line. Was it reinforced? Not one of them.
Oh no, of course not.
Why suddenly now that goalkeepers are like not as statistically strong at saving penalties, are people now going, oh, the goalkeepers aren't as good? Like, nah, if they could dive 4 yards off their line and then jump one way, it makes the goal smaller.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
It's a significant advantage that's been taken away from them.
Yeah, it's
rubbish.
Well, what does it matter? Because Donnarumma, he's 8 foot tall and he still stopped us from winning the Euros, so that was great. But was that Donnarumma?
He's got arms that are like 7 foot long.
Yeah, it's Donnarumma. Yeah, it's Donnarumma.
Oh my god, did you? So I assume we all watched that fateful day. The commentator, I don't know where you guys were watching it, but the commentator, I think it was for ITV or BBC. I assume BBC if it was the final.
It was on ITV. It was on ITV. Yeah.
The commentator kept on calling Donnarumma like the Cookie Monster, or what did he get? He kept on calling him like the most. I'll try and find a clip of it. He kept on calling him like the most crazy like name, because he had like really long arms and he looked like like he was good at like grabbing things. Like that's why he kept on. No, the Honey Monster. The Honey Monster. I think that was it.
What?
And I just remember the entire game. Like we're obviously shitting it. As soon as Italy gets their equaliser, it's like, fuck, it's all going to go downhill. And then like every 5 minutes, the commentator's just like, and the Honey Monster's got the ball. And what was actually amazing about that game is like in Champions League finals and like international finals not involving England, which the most are, it's brilliant when you've got the English commentary on the English final, because they clearly like they're so biased.
So
yeah. Obviously
biased.
Obviously.
Like, there was in the final, I think it was Spinazzola, who was like probably like one of the best players of the Euros. He like made like a really good like pass to I don't know, Chiesa or someone, and and one of the commentators went, "Oh, that was a decent cross," and the other went, like you could just hear him going.
You could hear him how bitter he was.
He was like, "Oh, whatever, this was all right." Yeah, I just love the passion. And then
they're always like that though. That's like the commentators in English football as well, and even like with transfers, there's that English thing where it's like English players that might not be particularly that good, but for some reason they're hyped up beyond. Like Tom Cleverley was when he first started playing for United. Everyone was like, "Oh my god, he's the new Paul Scholes. He's going to be the greatest midfielder of our generation." Him and Jack Wilshere in the middle. And now one of them's training for free at Bournemouth, and the other one's the Watford captain.
It's like, to be fair, I think a little bit of an example of that is James Maddison. Might be a controversial opinion, but I feel if he was like, I feel like if he was like, I don't know, French or Portuguese, we would not. I mean, he's kind of dropped off a little bit now. You don't really hear much about him in the past, 6 months or so. That feels like a very much like if he wasn't English, maybe we probably wouldn't be even thinking about him nearly as much. There's definitely a massive bias.
I suppose the reason you think about them a lot is because you're trying to figure out who's going to be in the national team, right? So I think that's why you focus a lot more on the English players, because then when it comes to documenting the World Cup and the Euro and stuff like that, you know who they're talking about. That's part of it, I think. But there's a massive overhype.
We watch the English League every day.
Because we watch the English League. But there's a massive overhype, and that can lead to problems if players go through bad form, like periods of bad form. And it's like I could definitely see like an English player getting like a bit. What's the word? Short on confidence. Short on confidence.
Right. I was going to say example of that, Jesse Lingard.
Yeah, he got confidence and went to West Ham.
Belief, massive knock on confidence. Wasn't playing. Went to West Ham. Proved that he's quality. Comes back to United, isn't playing, wants to leave. It's like,
don't blame him.
Surely that can't do anything for your confidence. when
That
you
would
score
suck.
9 goals in 11 games or something and get 5 assists or whatever it was, and then you come back to a team and you don't even play, and there's people playing ahead of you who haven't got an assist in 12 games.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
No, that would be a bit gutting. Like, I don't understand that sometimes when, like, United is a perfect example of this. If, like, they sign, players like, they sign Cavani, who's really good for them, and then they sign Ronaldo, and I assume Cavani still plays, and then Cavani, a guy who was solid
recently,
for a year, you're just like, whatever, deal with it. You're gonna, we don't need you anymore. That's surplus to requirements.
That's actually something that, as an unpopular opinion, probably to finish, is like I don't think signing Ronaldo was a good idea. We signed him because Man City were supposedly going to sign him, and that's the only reason we put our name in the bucket for him. He's a crap ton of money a week. Yes, he scores goals, but that's what Cavani, like you say, that's what Cavani was doing last season. Cavani was getting us those crucial goals and that kind of thing. And I don't really think that he's been very good for the squad, to be honest.
No. I think Ronaldo is one of those things, as you said perfectly. It was like, the only reason they signed him is because it's for the story. Ronaldo comes home. It's because they can't let City have him, because that would look bad. Even if, they can't let City have him.
Ronaldo, if he goes to City, is alienating every single United fan who love him.
Yeah.
All those United fans that would die hard Ronaldo is the best player in the world because he played for United. As soon as he goes to City, go, no, Messi's better. Do
you think that, or do you think? I don't know. I'm not a United fan, so I don't really care either way. But or do you think it's they would be more pissed at United for letting that happen? Because United do pay more money.
Yeah, but Ronaldo's still choosing to go to City. He's still making the active decision to say, I'm going to go play and be paid by, the biggest rival club of the club that I'm a legend at. It's like Peter Schmeichel going there. As soon as he went there, he didn't, all the players never spoke to him.
But I suppose also, I don't know, I guess it's like fans do have these like unreasonable attachments to players. But it's like, you've got to kind of be like, at the end of the day, he is a footballer. He's just going to go... Especially, it'd be one thing if, fucking Frank Lampard.
Loyalty, though, Andy.
No, but it's not. It's about money. It's about money.
No, it's about loyalty. If I was a United player and I had played for United my entire career, and City went, hey, look, we can give you 50 grand a week more to come here, I'd tell them to go stuff it up their arse.
But that was not the case with Ronaldo.
Just because for the fact that that in the club that you are loved at and you have played out your entire life, are going to hate you. So what was all of it for?
Well, it's for with Ronaldo. Real Madrid was,
Ronaldo.
Ronaldo. That was the club that made him. That was the club that made him. Obviously United made him very good. Won the Ballon d'Or there, Champions League, but. It was Real Madrid where you think, he could have potentially
became the world beater,
yeah, the best player in the world, arguably, or not arguably, and so like it'd be one thing if he went to Barca from a Real Madrid fan. Real Madrid fans are psychos.
No,
so
because I don't think it is quite that, because United made him Ronaldo. Like not necessarily he made himself Ronaldo, yes, but. You could have said that if he'd have gone to Arsenal instead of United at that time, he probably wouldn't have been the same. It's the same as like if Messi had gone through the Real Madrid academy, he wouldn't have been the same player, because Real Madrid would have gone, no, too short, too slow, not physical enough, get out, because they like their players to be physically very inept, whereas Barcelona want their players to be very skillful and very tactically inclined. Hence why they have two midfielders like Xavi and Iniesta, who are both tiny, but smashed, Casemiro, Zidane off the pitch most weeks.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like it's a difference in. So I think Ronaldo probably wouldn't have been the same player if he'd gone to like elsewhere other than United. But at the same time, he probably still would have been Ronaldo. because he had
he
the
probably still
drive
been
to
quite
get
good.
there.
Yeah.
Like, yeah,
It's about drive. It's about power.
we stay humble.
And on that bombshell,
Can't believe we're leaving it on The Rock.
what a man! That's a whole other episode entirely. But
We're not doing a Rock episode.
No. Unless he wants
We
to
could
come on.
we could do an episode where we rank all of The Rock's films.
Oh yes, please.
And just put them all in F tier,
All on F for fucking fantastic.
except for the Tooth Fairy, which goes in S.
Yeah, Tooth Fairy is leagues above the rest. That and the Journey to the Center of the Earth. Remember that?
That is a cracking film.
What a film!
Journey to the Mysterious Island, cracker.
I don't even remember that one.
Nah.
No,
There you go. No,
too many.
disgraceful, disgraceful.
Right. I think that's as good a time as any to wrap it up.
Yep.
We're
Wonderful.
perfect.
Yeah, definitely.
Thanks.
Well, thank you very much for watching. If you did watch, or if you listened,
Indeed.
who knows?
Yeah.
Who knows? Yeah.
Indeed.
Well, thank you very
Thank
much.
you very much.
Any commenty things that people want to say?
If let us know if you agree with me that if you shoot on target with a penalty shootout and the goalkeeper saves it, it is not a miss, it is a save.
Just put.
But only let me know if you agree
saved
with
or
me, 'cause
miss.
if not, I'll be
Just
sad.
put saved or miss as a comment with which
saved.
one you think,
No.
or both if you think that they're both right.
Indeed. Yeah.
You know.
Only one right answer though. So yeah. Thank you very much.
Thanks for watching.
Cheers.
Thank you, boys.
Bye bye.
Have a wonderful day.
Bye.
See.